Think you know the Philippines? Well, do you know what Filipino time really means? Just wait until you uncover the surprising side of the Philippines, where funerals turn into gambling parties, men obey women to a shocking extent, and children learn to swim before they can even walk. In this video, I'll walk you through some eye-opening, sometimes shocking, but absolutely true facts about the Philippines, a country that may seem familiar, but constantly flips expectations in the most unexpected ways.
They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets.
Stick around, it's going to be a wild ride. One, when the dead bring luck, a Filipino funeral practice you won't believe. And the very first fact might completely change the way you think about the most solemn tradition in any country. In many parts of the world, funerals are quiet, respectful gatherings where people come to mourn the loss of a loved one. But in the Philippines, funerals are much more unique. These ceremonies often last anywhere from 3 days to an entire week. It's not just a time to remember the deceased, but also an occasion for friends, neighbors, and extended family to gather, share food, chat, and sometimes even play card games right next to the coffin. The atmosphere is often filled with laughter, conversations, and even the sounds of children playing. There are two main reasons behind this unusual tradition. First, according to local beliefs, family and friends must stay awake by the coffin overnight to watch over the body and prevent evil spirits, known as a swang, from disturbing or stealing the soul of the deceased. Playing cards helps everyone stay alert through the night. Second, the winnings from these games are often pooled together to help cover the funeral costs, showing a strong spirit of solidarity among the living. This blend of festivity and gambling has become a distinctive cultural practice. Interestingly, some businesses even set up fake wakes to host gambling events, capitalizing on the relaxed enforcement of gambling laws during such occasions. It's common for people to choose lottery numbers based on significant dates, such as the birth or death anniversaries of loved ones. This practice is rooted in Filipino superstitions and cultural beliefs. While it may baffle visitors, it's a deeply human and heartfelt way for the community to share in the grief and help one another through loss. 2. Living among the dead, the unsettling truth of Manila's North Cemetery. In a country where funerals can feel like lively parties and the living stay up all night playing cards to watch over the dead, it might not come as a surprise to learn that right in the heart of Manila, some people actually live side by side with the deceased. The North Cemetery is one of the most bizarre and unsettling places in the Philippines. It's not just a burial ground, it has become home to thousands of people who live in the shadows of tombstones. With skyrocketing real estate prices in Manila, many poor families find themselves unable to afford even basic shelter. Desperate for a place to live, they've turned to the cemetery, which offers roofs, open spaces, and an eerie sense of quiet, a place where death is literally in the background of daily life. Over time, families have built brick homes right on top of graves or in the narrow paths between tombs. Children play on gravestones, and adults cook meals next to crypts, some even earning a living by maintaining graves. As night falls, the atmosphere turns even colder and more unsettling, surrounded by the silence of neighbors who will never speak. The sight of crumbling tombs, exposed bones, and skulls lying forgotten in corners is chilling. In a place where life and death collide, it's hard to escape the feeling that the line between the two is thinner than ever. For outsiders, especially those from the United States, the sight of families living among the dead at night is downright eerie. If I needed to use the bathroom late at night, I don't think I'd dare go. Would you be brave enough? 3. Are you ready for a Filipino wife? Here's what you should know. If you're a foreigner looking for a Filipino wife, you should know that in many Filipino households, women play a dominant role in decision-making and managing finances, and men often entrust their entire salary to their wives out of trust and respect. In the Philippines, men often take a back seat when it comes to household decisions, with many trusting their wives to lead the way. Women in the Philippines are seen not just as homemakers, but as the true pillars of the family, holding significant influence both financially and in decision-making. In many households, it is the wife who manages the family finances, handles the expenses, raises the children, and even makes major decisions, such as buying a house, purchasing a car, or selecting the best school for the children. Although men are still the primary earners in many families, they often hand over their entire salary to their wives. This practice is not based on societal pressure, but rather on mutual trust. Filipino men believe that women are more careful with money and have a better long-term vision when it comes to managing the family's resources. It's a reflection of the deep respect and confidence they have in their wives' ability to run the household efficiently. An interesting aspect of Filipino family culture is that men rarely challenge these decisions, knowing that the woman's perspective is likely to benefit the family in the long run. This power dynamic also extends to social customs, where Filipino men often show a great deal of respect for their wives' opinions, especially in front of their children. The shared responsibility in the family helps create a strong partnership and fosters unity. Would you want a Filipino wife like that? If yes, comment on the number 8, and I'll share the secrets to getting to know them, so you can start your journey. 4. Why some Filipinos still eat dog meat. What would it be like if your pet were on the dinner table? In the Philippines, the consumption of dog meat remains a controversial issue, particularly in rural regions like Benguet and the Cordillera Mountains. Historically, dog meat was seen as a cultural delicacy and was consumed during special occasions, traditional feasts, and ceremonies. For some indigenous communities in these areas, dog meat was believed to provide strength and vitality. This tradition, passed down through generations, is still practiced by a small number of people, despite its prohibition under the Republic Act 8485, the Animal Welfare Act, passed in 1998, which made the slaughter, sale, and consumption of dogs for food illegal. In some rural areas, local customs and economic conditions have allowed the dog meat trade to persist underground. There are reports of illegal slaughterhouses and black market dog meat sales in places like Benguet, where the demand for dog meat remains despite growing legal and societal opposition. However, this practice is increasingly viewed as outdated and inhumane. Many Filipinos, especially in urban areas, regard dogs as pets and family members, and there has been rising support for animal welfare campaigns. The government and animal rights organizations have been working to enforce the law more strictly, but the deep-rooted cultural beliefs in some regions make this a difficult issue to tackle. 5. How honking became a way of life in the Philippines. If you've ever walked through the busy streets of Manila or Cebu, you've probably heard the constant sound of car horns. But don't be too quick to get annoyed. It's not road rage, but a unique form of communication. Honking is part of the fabric of daily life here, and it's used for much more than just warning others. Drivers honk to ask for space, say thank you, signal someone to slow down, or even greet each other. It's par for the course when navigating crowded streets. What makes this custom even more interesting is the personal horn code some drivers develop. For example, 2 short honks mean thank you, and a long honk means please let me through. In certain situations, a rhythmic honking pattern is just a friendly exchange between familiar drivers. It's not just noise, it's a language on wheels. Honking also replaces turn signals in many cases, especially on narrow roads or busy intersections where visibility is poor. So, if you're new to the Philippines, don't judge a book by its cover. This unique way of communicating might seem strange at first, but once you understand it, you'll realize it's simply part of the daily rhythm of life here. 6. When your boss is called baby, Filipino naming customs. You may not know this, but in the Philippines, names take on a much more playful and spontaneous vibe than in many other cultures. It's not uncommon to meet a bank employee named Pepsi, a driver called Boy, or a female colleague known as Baby or Girly. What might seem like a joke to outsiders is often an official name, used not just informally but on legal documents, workplace contracts, and even in political campaigns. This tradition of creative naming stems from a mix of reasons. Some people are named after their favorite things, such as Pepsi, Cherry, or Bong, reflecting their parents' personal preferences. Other names are combinations of parents' names, like Jamari, a blend of Joseph and Maria. But often, names are simply chosen because they sound fun, catchy, or easy to remember. For many families, naming doesn't have to be context. It's all about what feels warm, personal, and easy to say. A woman might be officially named Maria Concepcion, but everyone, from family to co-workers, just calls her baby. Even prominent figures like President Bongbong Marcos, and former Vice President Leni Robredo use their nicknames in public life, embodying the friendly, informal nature of Filipino culture. However, for foreigners, this relaxed approach to naming can be confusing. Calling your boss baby or receiving an email from a business contact named Honey can certainly be an eye-opener. 7. A hotspot for foreigners looking for a life partner. Do you know that the Philippines is a paradise for foreign men? In the Philippines, the idea of foreigners finding a life partner is not uncommon, and every year, thousands of foreign men marry Filipino women. In fact, around 15,000 foreign marriages are registered annually in the country. However, the path to finding a life partner here is not as simple as it might seem. As a foreigner, it's crucial to understand the cultural dynamics and approach the search for a partner thoughtfully. Filipino women, while welcoming and friendly, have their own set of values and traditions that may not align with Western expectations. According to some Filipinas, many foreign men make the mistake of looking in the wrong places, like bars or beaches, or relying too heavily on social media to meet potential partners. While it's true that some women are attracted to foreigners for various reasons, including economic opportunities, it's important to remember that genuine, long-lasting relationships are built on mutual respect and common ground. Many Filipinas are looking for relationships based on trust, shared values, and deeper connections, which is why dating within familiar contexts, such as work, school, or mutual friends, is often advised. It's essential to observe behaviors, understanding that Filipino culture is not as liberated as in the West, and there may still be a stigma for women dating older foreign men. Additionally, many Filipinas prefer to avoid being labeled as seeking out foreign relationships, as this can carry negative connotations. While finding a partner in the Philippines can be rewarding, it requires patience, respect, and a genuine understanding of Filipino values. 8. The SMS capital of the world. You might be surprised to learn that before smartphones and social media took over the world, the Philippines was once known as the SMS capital of the world, a title it held due to the country's immense use of text messaging. In the early 2000s, the Philippines saw an explosion in mobile phone usage. With over 40 million mobile users by 2002, Filipinos quickly embraced SMS, making it the primary means of communication for millions, especially in rural areas where internet access was limited. What made this phenomenon so unique was how deeply integrated SMS was in Filipino daily life. Texting became a way for people to stay connected with family and friends, especially in a country made up of over 7,000 islands. The ease and affordability of SMS made it an essential tool for communication, and it was particularly useful for personal and business messages. Philippine mobile network providers, such as Smart Communications and Globe Telecom, played a significant role in making SMS accessible to nearly everyone. By offering competitive pricing and flexible plans, they ensured that mobile phones were within reach of the average Filipino. Even today, while most people now use apps like Messenger, Viber, or Telegram, texting remains a favorite way to communicate. At one point, it was reported that Filipinos were sending more than 1 billion messages per day. That number was higher than the combined total of the United States and Europe. Although mobile internet usage has grown in recent years, SMS remains a beloved part of Filipino communication culture, a legacy of the country's digital history. 9. The surprising history from weapon to global sport. You may be playing with a yo-yo, but did you know that the Philippines is the birthplace of this toy? While yo-yos have become popular worldwide, few know that it originated from this country, where it was used centuries ago as a tool of combat. Initially, yo-yos were not just toys but also weapons in the hands of warriors. The first yo-yos were made from wood or stone and were used for throwing and pulling back, much like how they're played today. In the 1920s, the yo-yo was improved and became a globally recognized toy. A Filipino named Pedro Flores played a significant role in popularizing the yo-yo when he opened a manufacturing and selling business in the United States. Since then, the yo-yo has become a cultural symbol and a beloved toy for many generations of children. Today, the yo-yo is considered both a sport and a beloved pastime, attracting millions of participants in global competitions. 10. Living on water, the fascinating life of the Badjao people. How is it possible to live underwater? The Badjao people, often called the Sea Gypsies, have mastered this incredible feat, creating a life that revolves entirely around the ocean. They are known for their incredible skills in diving, fishing, and boat building, spending most of their lives on wooden boats, traveling from island to island. In fact, many Badjao have never lived on land and instead reside on boats or stilted homes over the water. Badjao children learn to swim before they even learn to walk, and their bodies have evolved to adapt to their aquatic lifestyle. Their culture and lifestyle reflect their deep connection to the sea. For the Badjao, the ocean is not just a source of livelihood but also their home and spiritual sanctuary. However, despite their fascinating lifestyle, the Badjao face challenges as they often live in poverty, with limited access to education, healthcare, and basic services. Curious about their life on the water and the struggles they face today? Dive deeper into the world of the Badjao by clicking the link below to explore their incredible way of life, their challenges, and their vibrant culture that continues to thrive against the odds. You won't want to miss it. 11. The truth behind Filipino time, more than just a habit. Being late in the Philippines isn't just a habit, it's a cultural norm known as Filipino time. Whether it's a social gathering, a family party, or a work event, it's common for people to arrive 15 to 30 minutes after the scheduled start time. For special occasions like birthdays, weddings, or festivals, guests rarely show up exactly at the time written on the invitation. Instead of being frustrated, Filipinos often view this as perfectly normal. It's a reflection of the culture's laid-back, flexible attitude, where comfort and relaxation take precedence over strict punctuality. While foreigners, especially Americans, may find this shocking and frustrating, locals typically respond saying, "This is our culture." Some hosts have adapted by setting the event time 30 minutes to an hour earlier than originally planned, knowing that guests will arrive later than expected. However, in recent years, both the government and younger generations have pushed for change, launching campaigns like One Time to promote punctuality, particularly in professional settings where time management is critical. 12. Rice is life, a central part of Filipino culture. When staying with a Filipino family, you'll quickly notice one thing that's constant in every meal: rice. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, or a celebration, you'll almost always find a hot plate of white rice on the table. Breakfast is no exception. It's commonly served alongside grilled meats, fried chicken, sausages, or even hot dogs. Even at fast food chains like Jollibee or McDonald's, fried chicken is often served with rice instead of fries. What's more, the portions of rice are usually much larger than what most Westerners are used to, with some people eating 3 or even 4 bowls in a single meal. For Filipinos, rice is more than just a staple food. It's woven into the fabric of daily life and culture. They often say rice is life, a phrase that reflects just how crucial it is in every meal. For many foreigners, especially those from Western countries where carbs usually come in the form of potatoes, bread, or salad, this is one of the most surprising aspects of Filipino dining. Rice is central to every meal, reflecting the country's deep connection to this vital food. 13. The most extended Christmas celebration in the world. If you think Christmas is in December, wait until you experience it in the Philippines. Known as the Land of Christmas, the Philippines doesn't just celebrate the holiday for a few weeks, it begins as early as September. Yes, you read that right. The Christmas season in the Philippines stretches over 4 months, making it the longest holiday celebration in the world. From September, it brings a transformation, with the country filled with festive lights, Christmas carols, and the unmistakable excitement of the season. For many Filipinos, Christmas is not just about the gifts, it's a time for family, community, and faith. One of the highlights is the Simbang Gabi, or Night Mass, a series of early morning services that bring people together to celebrate the birth of Christ. Then comes Noche Buena, a Christmas Eve feast where families enjoy traditional dishes like roast pig, rice cakes, and sweet bread. Perhaps most iconic are the parols, colorful star-shaped lanterns that adorn homes and streets, symbolizing the Star of Bethlehem. For foreigners, this early and extended celebration might seem overwhelming, but it's a testament to the Filipino spirit of togetherness. In the Philippines, Christmas isn't just a holiday, it's a way of life, a time to cherish family and community, making it an unforgettable experience for anyone lucky enough to be part of it. 14. The story behind the name Philippines. The name Philippines was given by the Spanish during their colonization of the archipelago in the 16th century. In 1543, Spanish explorer Ruy López de Villalobos named the islands Las Islas Filipinas in honor of King Philip II of Spain, who was the reigning monarch at the time. The name stuck, and the entire group of islands eventually came to be known as the Philippines. Before the Spanish arrived, the islands were known by various names depending on the region. For instance, Luzon was referred to as Lusung by early Chinese traders, and the Visayas were called Bisaya. The indigenous people had their own names for their territories, but under Spanish rule, the name Philippines became official. Though the name was a legacy of colonization, it remains a symbol of the country's complex history, blending both native and foreign influences. Today, the Philippines is an independent nation with a rich, diverse culture shaped by centuries of global interaction. 15. The city that set its clocks ahead to improve life. Located in the southern part of the Philippines, Davao City is known for its peace, cleanliness, and surprisingly, its own unique time system, Davao time. Much like the cultural quirk of Filipino time, where people tend to arrive late to events, Davao's approach to time was an attempt to flip the script and boost productivity. In the 1990s, the local government made the bold decision to set the city's clocks 30 minutes ahead of the rest of the country. The idea was simple: get people to start their days earlier, improve punctuality, and allow workers to finish their tasks sooner, giving them more time to spend with their families. This shift, though unofficial, became a hallmark of life in Davao, with government offices, schools, and even local television stations adopting this time zone. For a while, Davao time seemed to work well. People were more productive, and the new schedule helped improve the community's overall well-being. However, to avoid confusion with other regions, the city eventually reverted to the national standard time. Despite that, the creative approach to time management still stands out as a distinctly Filipino solution, an attempt to strike a balance between productivity and family life, a trait that resonates with the values of Filipino culture. So there you have it, a fascinating glimpse into the quirks, traditions, and unique aspects of Filipino culture that often surprise and intrigue. From lively funerals to the rich meaning behind Filipino time, these are just a few of the many reasons why the Philippines continues to captivate the world. Whether you're planning to visit, live, or just curious about this beautiful country, there's always something new to learn and discover. I hope this video has given you a deeper understanding of the Philippines and its vibrant culture. If you enjoyed this journey, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on our next adventure. We've got more exciting stories and hidden gems coming your way.